Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is April the 28th, 2026. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hopefully, this episode finds you in a good place, in a good space. As for me, as for mines, it's been a pretty good day. I was fighting the alarm clock a little bit, but we made it happen. We got up, we got ourselves together, we got to work. Work was pretty textbook. No muss, no fuss. We got in, we got out. Post work, we winded up at the gym. Gym was busy, but I did get on a Smith machine, so we love that. Overall, good workout. Got pretty sweaty on my cardio, so we love that. And we got home. I did some stretching. Had a snack. And, looked up some news. We got a good amount of news to cover today. So let's go ahead and do our startup and let's get into it. Yeah. I will say today did feel better, just in general. The vibes were a bit better. I felt a lot less stressed, as you can tell by the lack of rain sounds. A bit clearer day. Though I will say, playing a little weatherman here. Apparently, the central U.S. area got some pretty bad storms. So thoughts and condolences are with that area. But yeah. All right. From Reuters. Indonesia commuter train crash toll rises to 15 as rescuers complete evacuation. The death toll from a train collision near the Indonesian capital, Jakarta, has risen to 15, with another 88 injured, a senior minister said on Tuesday, as emergency teams completed work to rescue passengers trapped in the wreckage. The collision between a commuter train and a long distance train happened late on Monday in Bekasi, just outside Jakarta, with a carriage reserved for women bearing the brunt of the crash. August, we're going to say it's August, I believe. August Harimuti Yudhoyono, Indonesia's senior minister for infrastructure, told reporters the death toll had risen to 15. Mohammed Saifi, it's too Isaiah, Saifi, the head of Indonesia's search and rescue agency, said all the victims were women and most of them had been pinned inside the crushed metal. It had been a delicate process to extricate them from the mangled carriages, he added, but the evacuation had been completed. We needed to involve personnel with certain skills to perform a measured extraction, he said, adding that rescuers were continuing to comb through the wreckage and would take action if they found any body parts. Before disengaging the trains, rescuers were seen using angle grinders to cut through the metal of the compartments to reach the survivors. Let's see, I'm skip ahead a little bit. Taxi operator Green. Oh, actually, I don't actually need to rewind. The crash took place after a taxi stopped on a crossing near the Bekasi Timur station. State news agency Antara reported. The commuter train was held on the platform where it was hit by the long-distance train, the report said. Taxi operator Green SM Indonesia said on Instagram that the taxi was part of its fleet. It said it had sent information to authorities to assist in the investigation. So obviously, this is just a very sad, unfortunate events thing. I mean, I know that in terms of just the infrastructure in Indonesia, in terms of just the trains and everything like that, it is kind of known for this, but it's because it's very dense. It's a very active system, and it has aging, technology, yada yada yada. All these things can kind of coalesce. But I mean, here you just have a situation where you have a taxi that was stalled out, and then next thing you know, you weren't able to stop an oncoming train hitting another train. And then just the added situation of this as being a carriage full of all women. Obviously, this is supposed to be a situation where it's like, hey, you're safe here, you have your spot here, and that's nice. But then it becomes a situation where it's like you and potentially, any child or anything like that you're with, is now, in peril, potentially losing their life. So yeah, it's a sad situation all around. But yeah, I wanted to start off with that story. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to pull from. No, I think that is it. But let's go ahead and move on to CBS News. Top Jalisco cartel leader with $5 million US bounty on his head captured while hiding in ditch in Mexico. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel, Mexico's most powerful criminal enterprise, suffered another blow Monday when the Mexican military captured one of its top leaders in the northwest of the country, 2 months after the cartel leader was killed. Audius Flores Silva, also known as El Jardinero, or the Gardener, was seen as a possible successor to the killed leader, and the United States had a $5 million reward out for information leading to his arrest. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I cannot lie to you. Once I heard that there was a guy by the name of the Gardener, I knew we were going to cover the story. Period. Flat out. Just to be able to say that shit. Poorly, of course, but I had to. I was just, I couldn't help myself. Also, this is, related to, previous stories we've talked about in terms of like El Mencho. Him dying, but I will say, for a better layout of the situation, though they don't cover the focus on this particular incident in terms of El Jardinero, I'm sure I'm fucking it up, but the Gardener being captured, because it just happened, and I think they had previously recorded this, but essentially on the whole layout of the situation, post the CJNG, which is the the abbreviation of Jalisco New Generation Cartel, essentially giving a rundown of like who are the potential successors, because obviously the focus here is on Silva, but he's only one of the potential people who would be potentially stepping into the vacuum, maybe step into the vacuum. But that being said, this is still significant because he's a major player regardless. So yeah, let's keep reading. The CJNG regional commander was captured while he was hiding in a roadside ditch near the community of El Mirador in the state of Nayarit, Mexican officials said Monday. No one was killed or injured during his arrest, according to Mexico's government, which is a stark difference in how, El Mencho's situation went down. Security Secretary Omar Garcia Harfuch, I got a burp, maybe? Ooh, yeah, there it was. Posted a video on social media appearing to show a man emerging from a hole in the ground as he is being taken into custody. Harfuch said that the captured man is sought by U.S. authorities with the goal of extradition. The Mexican military said reconnaissance aircraft, 6 helicopters, 4 planes, and more than 100 troops on the ground were involved in the operation. Flores Silva was seen as a possible successor to Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, or El Mencho, who was killed in a dramatic military operation in February. The killing of El Mencho led to a surge of cartel violence with a wave of attacks on businesses by cartel gunmen, vehicle burnings, and road blockades that killed more than 70 people, including 25 National Guard members. Let's see here. Flores Silva's capture marked another blow to a criminal enterprise that has quickly become one of the most powerful in the hemisphere, According to Mexican security officials, he was the head of security for Oseguera Cervantes and helped lead the cartel's drug production and trafficking operations in the state of Nayarit, Jalisco, Mexico State. Sorry, let me run that back. Nayarit, Jalisco, Mexico State, and Zacatecas. Local news organizations in Nayarit reported a number of cars and businesses were burned following his arrest. So, kind of following suit to Amencho's passing, his capture kind of warranted the same kind of response, but maybe, I guess, just a little bit less than. Let's see here. I'd say the rest are kind of details here, though I imagine that we will be coming back to the region, coming back to the story for more. Any updates, anything I learn, especially once again, I want to shout out Underworld Podcast. It's a pretty good podcast. It's like, I don't know, two old white dudes talking about, the criminal, underbelly, whatever the fuck. It's a lot of crime shit. So I like it. It's very interesting. And usually that they talk about a lot of relevant things, and the next thing you know, maybe some months pass, a year pass, and then, oh my gosh, like I vaguely remember hearing about this thing, and it's like, oh yeah, like they were talking about this shit. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Oops, sorry, I hit my mouse. We're gonna take it to the Middle East. We're not necessarily talking about Iran, but literally, when are we not talking about Iran? Everything kind of flows back. But from the BBC, United Arab Emirates to quit oil cartel OPEC. So, wilted flower emoji, I guess. Depends on who you ask. Excuse me. All right. The United Arab Emirates, or the UAE, is quitting the OPEC and OPEC Plus groups of major oil producing nations next month after nearly 60 years of membership. The UAE said its decision would help it meet growing global energy demand in the long term after recent investments to boost its production capacity. It is seen as a blow to the cartel, with one analyst describing the exit as the beginning of the end of OPEC. The Gulf state's energy minister said being a country with no obligation under the groups would give it more flexibility. Something about this reads, and maybe I'm wrong in this assessment, smarter people can chime in or whatever, but this feels like akin to the UK leaving the EU. You know what I mean? In the sense of this is as big as that. It's going to have a quote unquote ramification. But for the UAE, much like in the UK, their perspective is, well, we're doing this solely for us. It's very selfish. We're sick of kind of having to toe this line. And essentially, they're using the Iran war as their breakaway point. Because apparently this was something that was kind of rumored for I don't know, a year or years now. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't hear about this, but apparently that was under the floorboards. And for the UAE, they're like, well, now's the time. If not now, when? I guess let's get out of here. Granted, they can't get oil out or free up oil or do really any production right now. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. That shit double wrapped. But essentially, they're making this breakaway now, so when the time comes, they won't have to, go along with the group. They can just do their own thing. They can make their own production happen. And they're saying in the long run, that's going to be great. Now, from the US, they're like, this is awesome. The UAE is probably going to work with us. So a thumbs up there. And it's a blow to this cartel. So perspective wise, that's a dub. But I don't know. I guess it's going to be more work for Saudi Arabia to keep everything together. This might be something that helps Russia in some kind of way. And I'm sure there's some kind of Russia hawk that's like, oh, no, about that. I don't fucking know. It's all geopolitical bullshit to me. But that being said, it registered as interesting. So I was like, we'll at least cover the top headline and then read till I don't really want to read anymore. Which seems like about now, because they're doing the history of OPEC, and that's just not what I'm into. But by all means, feel free to read, bone up on that. Gives you the whole lowdown there. OPEC Plus. But yeah, let's move on. We actually got to talk about James Comey again. He's back in the news. They're coming for I want to joke. I'm not a James Comey fan. I don't even want to like pretend that I am for a bit. Um, from the NPR, grand jury indicts former FBI director James Comey for a second time. Not the one, but the two times. All right, all right. Let's see what this is about. The Justice Department has secured a 2-count indictment against former FBI Director James Comey for threatening President Trump by posting a photo on social media. This is the second time the Trump DOJ has gotten an indictment against Comey, a fierce critic and outspoken opponent of President Trump. A grand jury handed up an indictment against Comey over a photo he posted online last year of seashells on a North Carolina beach arranged to say 8647. 86 being old slang to mean get rid of, and 47 seen by some to reference Trump, who is the 47th and 45th president. Comey did knowingly and willfully make a threat to take the life of and to inflict bodily harm upon the President of the United States, in that he publicly posted a photograph on the internet, social media site Instagram, which depicted seashells arranged in a pattern making out 8647, with a reasonable recipient who is familiar with the circumstances would interpret as a serious expression of an intent to do harm to the President of the United States, according to the indictment, which was unsealed on Tuesday and filed in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of North Carolina. Now, I think this just winds up being very timely because this is like, for the third time someone's tried to come for the president, at least like third time that we're counting, whatever. I think this is just eager beaver Todd Blanche. And I don't know. I remember when this happened and then I fucking forgot it. But it was this corny ass fucking post by James Comey. Like he tried to make it seem like, oh, I was just walking on the beach and next thing I see is a bunch of seashells arranged like this. Crazy, huh? Like I guess that was the vibe he was trying to put out in this post. Like, haha, funny, hee hee. Like, it was giving very, like, lib, get this guy out of here. And I think that was the fucking intention. What would be a conservative? Not that, like, Comey is a liberal in any way, but, like, a conservative comparison, I think, was when we covered one of the Supreme Court justices. Was it Alito, I think? Him and his wife had the upside-down flag. Like, oh, America's in trouble, in danger, 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 Will Robinson. Like, it was that type of shit. And essentially, he played that down like, it's just something I can do because I was mad at my neighbors. I was mad at my liberal neighbors, so I did that. Like, to me, these are very one and the same. But Todd Blanche is like, no, he's trying to kill the president. They're trying to kill our motherfucking president. This is not a joke. This is not a game. Like, and he's saying it with his whole fucking chest. And I love that for him. Dude, he's just such a good little Labrador. He knows that, like, look, I'm going to succeed where Bondi failed. Okay? And if not, it doesn't matter. I just need to just be doing everything that you want me to do. Like, he's about it. I'll give him that. I don't know. Let's see here. What do we want to pick up at? The grand jury also issued a warrant for Comey's arrest, according to the documents case. I really just want to fast forward a bit. I love this too because this time he posted, his little video statement on Substack. I'm still innocent. I'm still not afraid. And I still believe in the independent federal judiciary. So let's go, Comey said in a Substack video in response to Tuesday's indictment. I don't know if he posted the first time on Substack and I just found it on Instagram. I think that's where I initially heard it. But for some reason, that just made me laugh because I'm just thinking of my lame, low visibility ass. And I'm like, could you imagine me addressing some allegations on my Patreon? Like, to my 4 news? Like, you're fucking real. It just seems weird to me to do anything like that. Like, hey, you gotta go to the paywall. So then I'm also then thinking of the reporter who has to be like, shit, man, I gotta fucking subscribe to James Comey just to get this response on the record. Like, can I like wait? Like, I'd be so salty, bro. I'd be like, they're not paying me enough. But yeah, I mean, they're coming back for the guy. We'll see how this one goes. No word yet in terms of whether or not he's going to go for Letitia James, and by he I mean Todd Blanche, acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. But we'll see. Like I said, he's trying to earn that spot. He's trying to keep that spot. All right. We have one more story that I wanted to cover. Technically, this is extra. Technically, this is fucking bonus. I read like a paragraph of it, and then I almost stopped myself, and I said, "Oh, this is a story I should push till like the weekend if I can even get it." It's kind of like old news because like we're jumping into this story when an appeal process is getting denied. That's never a good time to come into the story, right? But like I'm telling you that this story was so juicy and so interesting to me that I'm like, nah, we're running this whole thing down because it's giving Two-Face, it's giving mistaken identity. It's good. It's got a lot of juice to me, so I'm like, I want to yap about it. So let's take our last break and let's go to Wisconsin. Okay. Oh, also one last thing I guess I should say about this whole indictment thing, specifically this thing, in terms of like threatening the president. This does set a terrible precedent if it goes all the way and is successful, because it starts to feel and look like if you say anything mean and bad about our president, then we'll come lock you up. So like, obviously, once again, it's not like I'm a fucking Comey head here, but like I'm rooting for Comey to beat this shit, or this shit gets just instant thrown out like the last indictment. Just I wanted to put that on there for the record. Just extra 2 cents. Anyway, okay. CBS News. Wisconsin man stole coworker's identity for 30 years. Sent victim to mental hospital before DNA exonerated him. What the fuck? Okay. A federal appeals court has upheld a 12-year prison sentence for a Wisconsin man who stole another person's identity for decades and manipulated the criminal justice system to have his victim jailed and forcibly medicated. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit rejected Matthew David Kieran's challenge to his sentence, according to a ruling filed Thursday. Kieran's, 59, argued the 144-month prison term was unreasonable and that special conditions of supervised release were improper. Kieran's pleaded guilty in April of 2025 to aggravated identity theft and making false statements. And bro is putting a capital A on the aggravated. Let me say that. The case centers on the accusation that Kieran's theft of William Wood's identity began in the late 1980s when the two men worked together at a hot dog cart in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Wood said Kieran stole his wallet in 1988, but returned it after Woods threatened to punch him. But while Kieran's had possession of Woods' wallet, he used the information on Woods' social security card to apply for a driver's license as William Woods. Court records show Kieran's used Woods' identity to build a new life, marrying, having a child, opening bank accounts, obtaining credit, and working at the University of Iowa Hospital, where he earned more than $100,000 as an IT administrator. Oh, I got maybe a burp, maybe? Ooh. Court documents indicate that when Woods tried to reclaim his identity in 2019, Kieran's convinced police that Woods was the imposter. Woods was arrested and charged with identity theft and false impersonation. Now, I was very curious, and I'm kind of sprinting ahead here, but I had to know, like, there was just things that weren't connecting to me. Like like, how was he able to get away with this? Like, I get that he got a license, and that can mean a hell of a lot, but like, clearly there's had to be more here. And also, like, what would drive him to even want to do this? Like, what's he running from? What was so bad that he might have done that would have made him want to get an identity so badly? So I wound up looking into, Wikipedia, and it's like, oh, okay, so they were both homeless, I believe, and that plays a factor, I think. Also, Kieran's had previous charges. So essentially, he's like, I need this identity to, like, not just get a driver's license, but really to get a full new start. I also think, looking through the Wikipedia, and maybe this is alleged or whatever, that he did crimes under Woods' identity on top of it. So for Woods, this is a double problem. It's like, hey, man, like, you threaten to get your ID back, you get your ID back, you think you're fine. It's like, no, man, this is just the start of your fucking problems. This guy's running around as you, has a whole ass life, has debts, doing potential crimes and shit as you. That's not good, man. And then, finally, when you go to confront him about this shit, he gets to get the jump on you because he went, I think, through Ancestry.com or some shit. He not only has a driver's license, he has a birth certificate. That was another thing I needed to pull from the Wikipedia. So it's like, wait, what? So this is Spider-Man meme, and the cops are like, well, he's got the ID, he's got the birth certificate. You're saying you are who you are. Cool, man. Maybe you got a piece of ID or something, but like, this guy's looking more legit than you, and you're you. Like, that's just so crazy. So Woods spent 428 days in jail and 147 days in a state mental hospital where he received medication after a judge found him not competent to stand trial. He was convicted in March 2021 and ordered by the court to use what it is believed was his true name, Matthew Kierans. Like, he completely got body swapped by this dude. He got Captain Ginyu'd by this dude. I would literally lose my mind. My marbles would be on the fucking floor. After his release, Woods continued fighting to reclaim his identity. In January 2023, he contacted the University of Iowa, where Kierans worked. A detective investigating Woods' complaint used DNA evidence to prove Woods was telling the truth. I also like, a little bit, once again, referencing the wiki. The detective initially, like, really wasn't believing Woods, and, like, I think kind of didn't really want to pursue this that hard. But when he gets to Kieran's, like, calls him, like, a shitty, cop or police officer or law enforcement, whatever. And, like, it's something that spurs him into actually giving more of a shit. And he comes up with the idea of, like, wait. Like, you're saying you know this guy's dad. You both are saying you know the same fucking guy here. Here's a point I can use. And he goes, okay, let me get DNA. And he can match that. He can match his Woods DNA to this man. And they bring that to Kieran. And Kieran goes, my life is over, when he's confronted with the DNA results. Because he knows. Like, he knows that he's been doing this lie on paper alone, not goddamn blood. He's not fucking William Woods, dude. Like, it's crazy he pulled this shit off for years. Can you imagine? There's just something so spooky about that. This is a fucking piece of shit guy you work with at the hot dog cart. And he stole your life. You were selling some glizzies and he took your life. There's just something crazy about that. It's giving horror, and I know it's like, that's not scary. It's scary to me. That's real life scary. That's the kind of shit you have a nightmare from, and then you wake up like, oh my god, I'm so glad that wasn't real. But for Woods, it was. So yeah, I'm kind of with the courts on this. Let this guy rock on that sentence. Let him, let him learn. Let him grow as himself. Okay, let him be Kieran a little bit longer in there. Let him cook. In 2025, the Associated Press reported that Woods was back living in Albuquerque, where he was working as a landscaper. At the time, he said he planned to seek compensation for his wrongful incarceration. My main goal, he said, is to rebuild my life. I hope he gets the fucking bag, bro. As always, I'm rooting for motherfuckers who got, thrown in jail fucking for no goddamn reason. For literally saying, that's not who, like, that's not me. I'm me. And he said, take him away. That's crazy work, man. So between the CBS News, between the Wikipedia, by all means, take this story in. It's a crazy fucking wild ride, man. It gives me a little bit of goosebumps. I don't know. But that's it. That's all I have for today. That's the episode. If you'd like to help out, if you'd like to support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify. Follow on Apple Podcasts. Wherever you like to listen. Leave a like. Leave a cool comment. Sharing is always caring. 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts are always appreciated. If I didn't already say that, I can't remember. Sometimes it's all kind of muddles together. But regardless, you ain't gotta do none of that. If you just listened and you just enjoyed what you heard, and you want to do it again, that's great. And if you didn't, and you're just a completionist, and you're just like, when is this guy gonna stop talking? Hey, thanks for giving this a good, honest try. All right, and hopefully maybe you get bored or something, and you just remember, hey, like that, there's that guy. There's that guy with the little beard and the little brew in his hand. I'll be there. I'll be waiting for you. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.